7 minutes to 6 some international news. Hundreds of Turkish riot police have moved into Istanbul's Taksim Square, firing tear gas and water cannons at anti-government demonstrators who have occupied the area for more than a week. They were running battles at one stage of the square. For the latest, we are on the line to Istanbul to speak to Barbaros Aytug, who is a correspondent for Good Morning Turkey newspaper. A very good evening to you, and thank you very much for speaking to us. What is the state of affairs now? Has the situation calmed down at all?
For the last few days, some members of the party resistance have been complaining about the presence of some left-wing political parties and their flags and posters around the park and the square. Although there was no consensus on this among the protesters, government chose this opportunity to start an early morning assault on the square. They told the people that they were just coming to take down the flags. They had promised not to touch those who are currently in the park. Then they used tear gas and water cannons to retake the square. There is also a situation of the use of Molotovs. Actually, the use of Molotovs by the protesters happened at the exact moment they were retaking the square. Though in the early days of the protests, when the police were much more brutal, some people used to throw rocks at them, yet Molotovs were not used by those around Taksim at any time before. So people all around the country find a few fully accused Molotov throwing protesters a bit questionable, even though they are few, and they threw Molotovs. The same police who sometimes use aggressive force against unarmed protesters did not take hard action this time. They let these small assaults continue uninterrupted for a long time in front of the press while taking down the flags from the square. This was a strange situation, forced some people to believe that the fighting protesters of the morning raid might be affiliated with the police themselves, staged to show those who are against the protests that the protesters are not innocent. This is still a hot debate topic and nothing seems certain.
Barbaros, let's talk about the protest itself. At first it was about the redevelopment of Gezi Park, and it now seems to have turned into an anti-government protest. Is there any sense at all on the reasons why it has become that, and what exactly is it about the government that the demonstrators are protesting against?
It started as an innocent protest against the demolition of the park, yet when the demonstrators, the peaceful demonstrators, were attacked by the police, it spread throughout the country, its course changed, and every single person or group that has a problem with the government's policy is joined. At the moment, government's plan seems to keep the square and make sure the damaged country can be repaired, damaged economy can be repaired, while expecting the demonstrators only to stay inside the park and wait for the public to lose interest in time.
Why has it been so easy for people to band together and protest against the government?
I believe it's because many groups and many people had different problems about the government's policies, yet they somehow found the same problem that the police uses aggressive force against demonstrators, peaceful demonstrators, became a mutual problem for everyone, and they based the whole situation on this.
And what is expected just with regards to the protest that has been on for a week or more? Are the expectations that it will continue?
Well, it's expected to continue at the moment. Yet die down in time. It's certainly not certain. It's certainly not possible to see the future of this. Protesters have many different opinions on what should be expected from the government. Among the many different demands, an end to police brutality, gaining freedom of expression, making sure the government stops passing laws that interfere with people's private life and basic rights can be counted as mutual expectations.
All right, thank you very much. That is Barbaros Aytug. He is a correspondent for Good Morning Turkey newspaper, speaking to us there from Istanbul.